Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Altcoin Daily with Bitcoin Gorilla. Today, we are going to break down flow. So, we're going to understand why is this price not flowing on flow. We are expecting price to flow, but nothing seems to be flowing. Instead, we keep having this downside. What should we do? When can we get a bounce? How far can it go? And should you be buying more flow? I remember Bitcoin Gorilla, and if you don't know my analysis, I do not use indicators. I do not use indicators. I do not use indicators. I only use a simple price action strategy that I developed myself based on my experience. If you don't know, my name Bitcoin Gorilla comes from my trading strategy and as well as my style of trading. I'm a high leverage trader. I trade 125x. And if you want to know more about me and how I am possibly riding this ride and what this strategy is all about, and if you want to learn more, please visit the link under this video and visit my website called Makaveli Traders. And then you will learn how you can become part of the family. But for now, let's dive in and break down flow. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to try as much as possible to get that in your face resistance and support. Now, if you don't know, price action is based on just two things: the movement of price to the upside or downside. Actually, price moves only in two directions, but you must know that there is something called sideways market. So those are situations whereby you have equilibrium in the market between buyers and sellers. Okay, two things move price: the buyers and the sellers, demand and supply. Still the same thing, just different names or different ways of referring to them. Now, this is weekly chart we're starting this drawing on. So these lines represent those buyers and sellers zone in your face that I'm seeing on the chart. But these lines are not good enough for me to actually depend on and say that, hey, right now I want to buy these lines. Of course, I'm going to lose a lot of money, and I know a lot of price action traders treat support as a resistance as a line. So do pardon me. I know it works, but also I also know it breaks. So this is why you can see it would have broken this support. It would have broken here. You can see, but it held it here. So you can see that. So obviously, they keep breaking support and they keep breaking resistance. So this is why I developed the Bitcoin Gorilla strategy to make me better understand how I can treat support and resistance as an area. So when price gets into this area, I start getting my buy. So I start adding to my position, or I start getting ready to actually find the best entry, because chances are high that once price is in my demand or supply area, something is going to happen, right? So the first thing I want to bring, like I said, is my box strategy. This is the box strategy. But hey, the job is just getting started. We're going to go further and get the all-time demand area. What is the all-time demand area? This is the area on my chart that price once in the history of the life history of the price. This is where price, whenever it gets to, there is a bounce, right? So, and the all-time supply is right here. This is where price, whenever it gets to this zone, there is a chance of price dumping, right? So based on the history, but also I can see that this same price has been encountering a little sort of sideways movement. I said there are two types of movement. In fact, let me just call it three types of movement: upward, downward, sideways. Why I said two types before is it is still the same two people who makes up the upward movement and the downward movement that causes the sideways. How is the sideways caused? The sideways is caused as a result of buyers and sellers being in equilibrium with each other, which means if 20 sellers come into the market, 20 equal buyers come in and take up the order, leading to situations of this kind of situation where price keeps getting stuck in an area and price has refused to actually move further away from that area. So this is why I've brought in this second boss to help us identify such area in the chart, and I'm going to go further and find again the support and resistance of those area. So I am going to use blue, no, let's use red to help us differentiate this inner box from the outer box. So also I'm going to go ahead and get this range. So this is what the boss is looking like. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go further to see what price action. Remember, I said my box strategy is based on price action, which means I respect every pattern that is formed inside a box. It will help me make a better understanding or have a better view of what is going on with the market. So I'm going to try as much as possible to highlight everything that I'm seeing in the market. So what I'm saying here is this: there's a clear broken line. So if you look at here, we see that for a while there is a pattern that I'm seeing clearly inside this box, and it looks like a triangle like this. So this is more like a triangle. Now there are two patterns that looks like there are two patterns that look alike: the triangle and the pennant. They look very alike. The difference is that the pennant has a flagpole, but the triangle has no flagpole. Now the also very distinct difference between these two patterns is that the pennant is a short period of sideways, which doesn't extend more than 3 weeks, 3 months before a breakout. So in the case of a peanut, within the period of 3 months, there is a breakout, right? But in the case of a triangle can last from 3 months and above. That means a triangle can last for 3 years. A triangle can last for a long time, depending on the coin, right? So in this situation, this has gone beyond 3 months. Since April, flow has been on this sideways that has not been good. But here's the thing: in just November 2021, flow broke down this pattern on the downside. You can see there is a breakdown. Yeah, there's a piercing here, but they tried to stay above it and they failed, and there's a breakdown. Now, this breakdown has resulted to forcing flow. Remember, this is my all-time demand area. This is my all-time supply area based on the box. And within the box, there is, I'll call this intra inside the box support, inside the box resistance, which I don't ignore because things always happen when price gets to that range. You can see example of here, and you can see example of here and here. So things always happen when price gets to that range. So here is what I am saying: the fact that price has come down to the all-time support is something to really take big note of. So before we start, we're going to look at what each time frame is telling us. We're going to start by looking at the 4 hours chart. Then from the 4 hours chart, we can go down to monthly chart, or should I say we go up to monthly chart. So let's go now to the 4 hours chart. We've been able to draw some chart, and we have a little view of what is happening in the market. So this is what our chart looks like on the 4 hours chart. Now let's try to do and see what we can interpret based on this. Now from what I am seeing, flow is going to attack this seller's line once again. So here is the thing: where they are currently sitting, I see that the 4 hours has its own intraday support seller's line, and I'm going to try to draw it right because I'm seeing that seller's line. They tend to have been respecting it for a while. It's not that straight. The seller's line is not that straight, but we're going to see what we can do to get it. The goal is I want to see as many possible straight up touches as possible. How many touches can I get with this seller's line? Okay, seems like the best I can do with it. So let's look deeper. Let's go closer on the 4 hours and see what we're having with this seller's line. So what I'm seeing right here is that we have a seller's line that obviously, if I try to connect here, is going to give up a bump up. So I'm going to try to start from here. Remember, each seller's line, I need a minimum of 2 touches, right? So if I zoom in, I have one, I have two, and more like three. This is a very close one, but it's not rightly on it. So I see that that seller's line is something that the shorters has been using to push them down on the 4 hours. But obviously, you can see they have broken above it. They retested the breakdown, the breakout, by sitting now on top of it. So what they have done now is create a higher low to prove the fact that chances are high that they are going to attack yet here. So when they get here, remember, in 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 trading, a broken resistance becomes a support, and a broken support becomes a resistance. So this line, we don't really need it. We don't need too much line so that we'll be able to actually see what we're doing. So, but I just wanted to show you how they retested that line on the 4 hours. So here's the thing: they will return to the period, the from this $8 to $10 yeah, $8 to $10 range, this range, there will be a reaction. The reason is you can see this movement, there will be a pullback because they will try to get into our previous broken support area, which is now a new resistance area. So chances are high that just touching the tip of the resistance or a little bit entry into it will have them have an effect. But if they are to keep moving up, then they want to respect this new bias line they are already forming. Remember, we're very zoomed out though. If you're going to trade this chart, you're going to have to zoom in. For me to analyze this chart, I had to zoom out that much. So you might say the lines are too much. Don't look down on the chart because they are really zoomed in. You can see it's a good target and a good profit if you're going to trade this 4 hours chart on a zoomed in chart, right? So from this is what I'm saying. They will actually have to respect this based on 4 hours traders. Expect that we're going to make a move to $9 all the way to $10. But here's the thing: they are likely going to return, and they will likely try to sit around $6 again. And once they return around $6, then their intraday mini. See why I said I don't want too many lines, because I know they are intraday mini reactions, but I really don't need them because they can easily get broken. This is why I did not draw them. They can easily get broken, but I must not ignore the fact that they exist. Yes, they exist, but I do not need to draw them. Just I know that there will be a move like this, like they will struggle like this, they will move like this, but they will still make their move to this point. So that struggle, because as a result of the struggle when they were coming down, so they will have that struggle when they are going up. You can see how easy the move here is. You can see how easy the move here is. So once they get, they will return, and then the move is going to continue. Now, the main move they are trying to get to is this seller's line that I'm telling you right there. That is their main target. That seller's line. So let's take all this out. So I'm sorry about the noise behind. There's a night vigil going on in the church behind my house, so I'm sorry if that noise is echoing in the background. So let's go deeper and look deeper into this. So if I zoom in, I'll tell you that the target could be around $14 at, let's say $12. Let's say they just got this chart around $12 because of this reaction right here. So if I pick, I like not giving up easily, and at the same time I like considering every possible chances of a reaction. Don't forget the fact that we did not put these lines that they don't exist. These things exist. I need to move this a little up right here. These lines exist, but I'm just trying to show you because of this analysis of 4 hours. So they could get a reaction, but they will still make it. They will go like this, keep the line, move like this, and they will still get to that point. So their goal is they will likely maintain, like I said, they will likely maintain the bias line. They would like to keep up with the bias line until they've gotten to that $12 to $14 range, right? So if they get into that place for the 4 hours, we need a higher target. And for us to get a higher target, we need to look at higher time frame. So this is going to take us, we're now going to go to daily chart and see what a daily chart is likely going to produce. Now, if you're going on a daily chart, we're going to have a higher target. Why do I say we're going to have a higher target? We're likely going to come here and hopefully we don't dive that back down again. right? Hopefully we don't go down again. That is what I see, that this sellers line don't reject the move down. But even if there is a reject, here is what I'm saying: we're considering the bulls, later we're going to consider the BS. So the bulls are likely going to move it to this $14, $12 range. Like I said, they will pull back and they will try to sit on $8, at worst $6, and then they will try to make a move this time around to $16, of which they will return either $16 or $18. Either they get here and return, but most likely they will return around here, because I see the reaction really happening around $16. They will return and they will move back up. Now, their return could proceed down for them to come and retest this point. You must consider the past action that took place in this range. It's going to really create a lot of sideways again. Previous resistance become support, previous support become resistance, but most importantly, the data, the movement, the action that took place in a particular area is going to likely repeat itself. You can see the action that took place here is the same action that took place here. So you must take note. You can see the same action that took here is the same action that took here. So expect the same reaction to take place here. Patience is going to be needed if you are a daily trader or you're trading with daily. But on daily, I do see them at the maybe around April or so, they could actually get to the range of $24 first. That is, $18 is going to push them down. They'll come down, then they'll move again. That move to $30. Well, if the bulls really get crazy, because all this range is demand range, it could inspire more people to buy once they are able to cross this seller line. Once they break the seller line and make it above and retest. I hope their retest doesn't go deeper. Like I said, they could stand at $8 or $6. A lot of people will be pushed into buying flow from that $8 range, and then we could have a move up like this. That is, if the buy gets crazy and we have a skyrocket move. But I know it's not going to be easy, because I know that the fact that we have this movement to the upside is going to create another same scenario happening, that same procedure. So let's go to the weekly chart and let's see if we can extend our current target based on weekly chart. Now, if we go to weekly chart, the chart becomes more interesting, telling me that these bulls, yes, they are going to make it to $30, but they're going to move like this and push back, right? And possibly again move like this and push back. So this move could be the one that will take them to the $30, right? And push back before they now move up. Right. On the weekly chart, $30 is very possible. But remember, since they break to this side, chances are high that once they are able to go above $30, chances are high of what? $42. Because why? It's the same move that happened here. The breakout, once they're able to break this seller line, we're going to have an equal measured move to the upside. Is a triangle, and a triangle is the adjacent move is likely what is going to play out. So what is the adjacent move? So we have this target, and once we get a breakout, we're going to have the same target around here. So minimum, I'm actually sticking to $42, because I know before then I would have come to update you, but we could actually see the price getting to somewhere around $48, if not $50, on a long run. On a long run. Now, this is going to be, remember, I said weekly chart takes the minimum of 1 month, 3 months to play out. So you have to be patient. So this $48 project I'm talking about, a move I'm talking about, please, I'm going to actually put it on the monthly chart. It's going to need a lot of patience. So if you're going to be patient, you're going to reap very well on flow. Good money is going to come in out of flow. The reason is we are on a very important demand area. And if we look at the candlesticks, so let's just close all the drama and let me look at the candlestick. If I look at the candlestick, I see that what happened here, there was a bullish breakout, right? A bullish move that completely got reversed by a 3 bar reversal. A 3 bar reversal that again the bulls could not stand and say, hey, right now you give us a 3 bar bear reversal. They instantly also give a 3 bar bullish reversal. So if you look closely, you see that these 3 bars, let me use a drawing. You see that these 3 bars actually look exactly like the three bars that the bulls printed. So let me use this drawing and say these three bars is just the opposite of these same three bars. And they are back at the same bottom.